channel. Thank you for joining me today. So this video I'm collaborating with the wonderful Glaze and Gordon yet again. You may remember I've done a video with them quite recently at the start of October where I tried out these wonderful wide Pravins stirrup leathers. As you can see them here. If you haven't watched that vlog, do go and check it out, guys. It was really fun to film and these made such a big difference to my lower leg. So since filming that video, I've been absolutely loving these stirrup leathers. I've been eventing in them, I took them to Broadway. Hopefully you've also watched that vlog. They actually ended up saving me quite a lot at Broadway. If you've seen the vlog, you'll know that I had, thanks Dee, I had a little bit of a sticky situation with Jam going over a log. Basically, she got way too close and took off like that. Her back end went right the way up, her shoulders dropped. I was pinged. But luckily, these were staying nice and flush against the saddle and my lower leg actually stayed in quite a good position, meaning I managed to just about save the situation and not fall off. So absolutely love these, definitely helped my position and just made me feel a lot more secure in my saddle. So after the success of these, I noticed that Glaze and Gordon stocked dressage leathers on their website as well. And they have very kindly sent me a pair of Pravins dressage leathers. So I'm super excited to try these out and obviously I'll take you along with me and we'll compare them with my old dressage leathers, which I normally use. So you can see here that they are actually double the width of my normal leathers. So they're going to provide a much wider base, which makes my lower leg far more stable. In theory. I mean, I say in theory, it definitely worked with the jumping ones. These have a few different features to the jumping leathers. They are strictly for dressage, they've not been reinforced for jumping. So if you want leathers for jumping, do check out the jumping ones. But if you're a dressage diva, these are the ones for you. The major difference is that the stirrup attaches at the bottom and you only have one piece of leather, so it doesn't double back on itself, which means it's going to sit extremely flush against the saddle. So there's only that one bit, and then at the bottom you've got this little leather cover that covers up the buckle, and you can attach the stirrup down here, and then you can also adjust the length. If you want to check the size guides, head over to the Glaze and Gordon website because you do need to be quite specific with these because obviously you've not got loads of leather to play with, so do check the size guide out before ordering. So another feature is because obviously it doesn't double back on itself, it needs a way of attaching to the saddle. So at the top you can see there's this little hook that just attaches to the stirrup bar, it just slots on like so. So now you know a few of the features. You guys already know why these stirrup leathers are so amazing, but for anyone that hasn't watched the vlog already, seriously guys, go check it out. Go on, after this though. The width of the leather obviously makes it a lot more stable for your lower leg. If you've got any ankle, hip, knee, lower leg pains, they should be alleviated a lot more with these just because there's going to be a lot less swinging because of the width and it being more stable. Science, am I right guys? Also, these are used with top quality leather, so they're not going to stretch nearly as much as your other stirrups. I don't even think these are proper leather, which is bad because you can tell when you look at them, but you know, that's fine. That's not what this video is about. We're not going to judge my old stirrups. Ugh, get away from me. Also, because they're sitting a little more flush against your saddle and we've not got the double leather, they are far less likely to twist. So again, that's going to help with your stabilization. And also it's just a lot more comfier. I mean, look at that, down the inside of your leg. Yes, please. Anyway, I feel like you guys have heard enough. So structure for this video, you can also do this with them. The jumping video, I swapped between my normal jumping stirrup leathers and the wide ones, and we saw how much my leg moved with each. Spoiler alert, my leg was so much better, especially over a bigger fence with the wide leathers. Because these are dressage ones, I thought, how can we spice this up? So, we're going to tack my beautiful Dee up, and I'm going to go out there with one wide stirrup and one narrow normal stirrup leather. I keep forgetting to say leather. Oh well. And I'm going to do a few centre lines so you guys can see me coming straight towards you and see if my leg is moving less on one side, hopefully this side. And then I'm going to put both these leathers on and just have a nice little school with Dee Dee, let you guys know how it feels. Hopefully we'll see an improvement and yeah, it's just going to be fun. So, I'll see you in the school. Okay, so we've made it down to the arena. On this side, I have my beautiful Pravins stirrup leather. Look at the flushness. One thing I forgot to mention is that Dee is super bored. Is that obviously you would normally have a buckle here. We'll show you that on the other side. So that is going to cause a little like lump there, right under your thigh. Whereas the way this hooks on, that is honestly so flush. I mean, that's literally just like the saddle. That's what you're sitting on, it's the saddle. So I'm excited to see how that feels. I think I'm going to feel a lot closer, and also just like so it doesn't dig in. If I ever get to do fancy tests where I have to sit, booyah! I'll be wearing these bad boys. So if we just wander around to the other side here, I will show you my old stirrup leather. Oh, and also you don't get that, which looks really messy. All these things, like until you see it, you don't know them. But until you see it like on the saddle, yeah. Now all these features that are just coming out, so useful. But that's what I mean about normally you would have a big bulky buckle under there. So it's gonna be really interesting. Look at that. That's how much it bulges. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they compare having one of each on. So I'm gonna hop on board, warm up a little bit, then we'll do some centre lines. I'll chat to you guys about how it feels, and then you guys can just watch a little bit of my schooling session with Dee Dee, who is so excited. She cannot contain it, guys. Did everyone hear my back click?
She's like, yes.
Oh, wow.
We need those new stirrups, Mama.
Okay, so I've literally just hopped on Dee. Very good initial reactions. The main thing for me, obviously because I'm just standing still now, the main thing I notice is the buckle 100%. I feel like it didn't necessarily bother me that much beforehand because it's always just been there. I've never had stirrup leathers like this before. But when you sit with one of each, you immediately feel how much that buckle does actually stick out, because this leg is just like that, guys. You all know what I mean by that. Okay, I'm gonna have a little warm up. We'll do some centre lines. Okay, quickly, bit of crotch cam here, guys, before we get going, because you can actually see a difference just from up here. So that side is obviously the one with the Pravins stirrup leather, and this is the one with the big bulky buckle underneath, and you can see that flap is sitting a lot higher than this one. So initial reactions are 10 out of 10. In the left than there is this right one. Okie dokie, I've had a little warm up, definitely feeling a lot more secure on this left leg. It was a really good exercise to ride with the different stirrups. Also,
you haven't finished.
Spoiler alert, Dee is in the sassiest mood ever today, so she's being a bit aggy with me asking her to bend and everything, but oh well, it's good to put the stirrup leathers to the true test. So what I'm going to do now is a few centre lines. Make sure you look out really, really closely, guys. It is this leg that has the Pravins stirrup leather on, and this leg which has just my normal stirrup and stirrup leather. Should have mentioned both stirrups are the same, so that shouldn't be affecting things anyway. let's get going. You can see how wobbly my centre lines are.
Okay, so as you look at me now, the one on the right is the Pravins leather, and I'm only just noticing now that they are slightly unlevel, so that is giving it a much tougher test because it is slightly longer and therefore I'm trying to reach for it. So I'd say the differences are quite subtle in the trot work there, whereas going on to the canter now, I think my leg does look a lot better with the Pravins leather. Also, my toes are a lot less turned out with this, and I think it's kind of just less flappy, so I'd say there is a good difference here.
Okay guys, so now I have both legs in the Pravins stirrup leathers. I'm going to have another little ride around. I would say I'm going to do some dressage tricks, but firstly Dee and I don't really know any, and secondly Dee's grumpy today, so we'll just do a little bit. I'll try and do some like leg yield and stuff just to check my range of motion down there, but it seems to move to where I would want it to move, but not far past that, which is good. Obviously don't want my leg up there, unless you're into that.
Okay, so a few more centre lines for you. Here is a bit of rising trot. Now I know my legs are still moving, and for some reason part of me was thinking my legs were going to be completely still, and then I realised that I'm actually riding a horse and I'm doing rising trot, so they're not going to be stock still. I've spent a lot of time this evening watching top event riders and there always is some movement, so I'm trying to be realistic with what I'm aiming for, but I'm definitely finding my legs are sort of flapping around less, and they did just feel more secure overall, which is obviously a massive positive. Also, I think the canter work looks so much stiller. Something I have noticed from doing this is that I put a lot more weight down my left leg, so that is definitely something I'm going to work on after seeing this footage.
Hot pony. Okay. Jesus, I am so itchy and hot. So we've brought Dee Dee back in now. We'll have a little debrief about the leathers. So one thing I will say is because it's just that one piece of leather, you obviously can't run the stirrup up because it only goes up to that bit. So what I'm going to do is, for taking off purposes, I'm going to flip them both over just so they're not dangling like that, and then undo the girth obviously, but I'm just going to leave it done up for now. I'll pop the saddle off nice and easy. And then for storing, I'm going to have them back down so I can have my saddle cover on, and so it's not like pushing up that flap of the saddle. For me personally, that's not a big issue because all of my saddles are stored on like racks. My girth straps hang down anyway, and for travelling in the lorry I can always whip the stirrups off quite easily, and you could do that after every use. I'm quite lazy. Personally, it doesn't matter to me if my stirrups are hanging down, but that's something to consider. Perhaps a little bit of a drawback with these, but like I said, it's personal preference. That really doesn't bother me. Dee is so keen to itch. So, riding in them, definitely a lot nicer to sit on. You really notice when you've got one of the old stirrups versus one of these stirrup leathers, is that your leg sits a lot closer to the saddle up there. You don't get a buckle digging in, which means when you're doing sitting trot especially, they make a huge difference. I felt like my legs felt a lot more secure in the sitting trot, and also it's just a lot more comfortable. Sitting trot isn't the comfiest thing in the world. You're trying to think about like your core and everything. So So having less pain on your thighs is definitely a big bonus. Certainly did keep my leg more secure. I think today I was trying to ride a little bit longer because I've been trying to push myself. I do ride too short in the dressage anyway. So I did push myself and put them a hole lower than I'd normally ride in, which probably wasn't the smartest idea for doing this video. So I was feeling a little bit like I was reaching for them more than I normally would be. So the sitting trot thing, it being a lot comfier, it's better, but that does make a difference for your transitions. Obviously you're going to be doing sitting trot if you're doing a trot to canter transition, and I just felt a lot better in my transitions, like my legs were stiller and I was able to just move my lower leg back a little bit rather than my whole leg swing back like so. So in conclusion, really pleased with them. I would say there's more improvement to be had when you're looking at the jumping side of things. I noticed a massive difference when I was using the jumping leathers in how much my leg was moving back or not moving back when I was using these leathers. I would say unless you're a complete dressage diva and that's all you do, I would opt for the jumping version of these just because they're more versatile. That way you can do absolutely everything with them. However, if you're really into your dressage and you want to progress up the levels, you want to practice your sitting trot for when you're doing those higher level tests, I think these do make a massive difference to your overall position and also just being a lot comfier in the saddle and having that sort of closer contact with your horse. So that is my conclusion from riding these. I'm definitely going to be using these leathers. I won't be going back to my old leathers. So, I mean, that's a big win. Also, they look super smart. I just think they look beautiful. So last thing to say is obviously a massive thank you to Glaze and Gordon for sending these out to me. They are the only place you can get these stirrup leathers in the UK. They're the only ones that are going to deliver you the Pravins ones. So if you want a pair of either these or the jumping ones, make sure you head over to their website. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. If you are going to treat yourself, maybe you're going to get a little cheeky pair for Christmas, you can use my discount code MEGPRAVINS. That'll give you 5% off. That discount code will work on the dressage ones and the jumping ones, so just go crazy. Also, something I forgot to mention at the start, which I should have done, because of the high quality leather and the fact you don't want these leathers to stretch, you shouldn't be putting saddle soap or any kind of product on them. You can occasionally clean them, but it's best to not put any leather softener on or anything like that, because that can encourage stretching. These have already been fed like oil during the tanning process, so they will soften up with use. So you guys don't have to do anything. Saves you a job on cleaning. Win-win. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you like, comment, ring the bell and subscribe if you haven't already. Guys, Vlogmas is coming soon. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.